Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's City Council meeting, which is also our Student Government Day. I'm going to ask Christian Garrett from Arthur Hill High School to step up to the podium. He's going to lead us in the prayer and pledge.
Dear good, as we thank you for your mercy. Father, right now we ask that you would bless this meeting. Father, let it to go to the way that you would have for it to go. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Fitzpatrick is excused. Councilman Tibbs. Councilwoman Bench. Mayor Pro Tem O'Neill.
Present.
Councilman Coloris.
Present.
Councilwoman Moore. Councilman Balls. Councilman Clark.
Here.
And Mayor Browning.
Present.
We have 8 members present and 1 excused this evening.
And I'd like to remind the audience to remain quiet and refrain from speaking, cheering, booing, or rude or obnoxious behavior. Turn off or silence all your electronic devices. So good time to double check your phone. Make sure that your phone is turned on vibrate. And Madam Clerk?
Mayor, that takes you to announcements. I do have a few this afternoon. City Hall will be closed Friday, April 3rd for the Easter holiday. And the next regular City Council meeting will be Monday, April 6th at 6:30 p.m. And Monday, April 6th is the last day to register to vote or change your address for the May 5th, 2015 special election. Mayor, that concludes our announcements. We do have 3 proclamations this afternoon. Our first proclamation is to Senator Roger Kahn to recognize his contributions to the city of Saginaw.
Senator, would you step up to the podium for us, please? Roger, thank you. Roger, this is a great pleasure for me and council members to recognize you along with our city staff. And I'd like to read the proclamation here. Whereas the Saginaw City Council was proud to recognize Roger Kahn, State Senator for District 32, which consists of the Saginaw and Gratiot counties. Senator Kahn has shown his faithfulness and dedication to our community through his gifted leadership and the remarkable contributions he has made in the lives of many others. And whereas Senator Kahn touched many lives in Saginaw while working as a cardiologist in Saginaw Township, he was instrumental in bringing the balloon pump, modern pacemakers, and outreach clinics to the Saginaw area. Senator Kahn worked to expand the cardiac lab and initiated Saginaw's cardiac surgery program. Due to these and many other medical initiatives of Roger Kahn, Saginaw has now blossomed into one of the best cardiac centers in the Midwest. And whereas Senator Kahn decided to seek elected office with a key mission to solve the problems that affect many of his patients and their families. After witnessing their struggles and setbacks, Senator Kahn decided to take his dynamic vision and leadership ability to Lansing. He was elected as a state representative in 2004, and in 2006 he was elected to the state senate, where he has served our community for 2 4-year terms. And whereas while serving in Lansing, Senator Kahn worked to lower health care costs and remove the barriers that keep many citizens from receiving the health care needed for a full and abundant life. Senator Kahn helped to author the law which expanded Medicaid in Michigan. Senator Kahn's Healthy Michigan plan has provided health care to thousands of citizens who could not otherwise afford. And whereas Senator Kahn has led several influential committees in Lansing, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations, he assisted in the budget process to ensure government funding was invested in key areas such as early childhood education. He was awarded Senator of the Year in 2012 for his accessibility and work on the Senate Appropriations Committee. Senator Khan also received the Michigan Champion of Children's Award from the Saginaw County Great Start Collaboration in 2012. And whereas Senator Khan is an exemplary citizen and a man who values his family and his community. His community involvement involves Big Brothers, the Rotary Exchange Program, the Saginaw Community Foundation, the Saginaw Chamber of Commerce Board. He has supported the Saginaw Rescue Mission, was honorary chairman of fundraising for Pit and Balcony Theater, board member for the Jane Street Clinic, and has donated time to Saginaw's free medical clinic. Senator Khan and his wife Nyla have 8 children and 16 grandchildren. Now, therefore be it resolved, I, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor of the City of Saginaw, on behalf of my fellow council members and the citizens of this community, do hereby extend this expression of our esteemed appreciation and gratitude to State Senator Roger Kahn for the positive impact he has made in Saginaw and throughout the state of Michigan. We commend Senator Kahn and extend our very best wishes for continued success in all of his future endeavors. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Saginaw to be affixed this 16th day of March in the year of our Lord 2015. Signed, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor. Amos O'Neill, Mayor Pro Tem. Michael D. Balls, Annie Bench, Larry Caloris, Daniel Fitzpatrick, Floyd Clark, Brenda F. Moore, and Damon L. Tibbs, and our city manager, Timothy Morales. Congratulations, and you come forward. I'll come up here.
These are very humbling moments, and it's an awfully nice tribute. I don't think I've ever had anybody go on quite so long about things. Maybe wonder whether I was dead. I guess I am politically now that I think about it. And I think for those of us in public service or retiring from public service, I can't wait to see what Stacy has to say. We're honored by the people that they would let us represent them. And you can't thank them enough. And I would not just want to thank you for this honor, but I want to thank you for your service. So Michigan's had a tough time this century. Saginaw's had a tough time. And your resilience and you guys just can't be defeated. You're there all the time doing something new to help our community. And I want to thank you for that and for the example you set and for this. Thank you.
Is to State Representative Stacy Irwin Oakes to recognize her contributions to the City of Saginaw.
Representative, please. Thank you. Once again, it's my honor to read this proclamation from the City Council and City staff. Whereas the Saginaw City Council was proud to recognize Stacy Irwin Oakes, State Representative for the 95th District, for her faithfulness and dedication to our community through her gifted leadership and the remarkable contribution she has made in the lives of many others. And whereas Representative Oakes graduated from Saginaw High School and received her bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Ferris State University. She later earned her teaching certificate while working at the Saginaw Correctional Facilities. She then went on to receive her law degree from Detroit College of Law at Michigan State University while working for the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. And whereas Representative Oaks began her law career as a political analyst with the Michigan House of Representatives. She was later appointed to the Michigan Attorney General's office, serving under Jennifer Granholm and Mike Cox. As an assistant attorney general, she prosecuted and defended cases throughout the state of Michigan and was soon appointed to the Michigan State University Board of Trustees. And whereas Representative Oaks was elected as the first female state representative in the state of Michigan in 2010. While serving as state representative, she worked to lower taxes, create jobs, restore critical funding for schools, and lower health care costs. She has served on several influential state committees, including the State Agricultural Committee, Judicial Committee, Financial Committee, and the State Commerce Committee. And whereas Representative Oaks has received several honors and awards for her passion and commitment to advance the economic, the environmental, and educational well-being in Saginaw. She was awarded the Ruby Award by Great Lakes Bay Regional Lifestyles magazine in 2012 for her outstanding professional accomplishments and contributions to regional improvements. And whereas Representative Oaks is a woman who values her family, her faith, and her city. She is the wife of Michael Oaks and the mother of 2 children, Michael II and Kingston. Miss Oaks and her family are also active members of New Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church in Saginaw. Representative Oaks has set the example for others as an exemplary citizen whose good works and dedication help to improve the quality of life for our citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor of the City of Saginaw, on behalf of my fellow council members and the citizens of this community, do hereby extend this expression of our esteem, appreciation, and gratitude to State Representative Stacey Irwin Oaks for the positive impact she has made in Saginaw and throughout the state of Michigan. We congratulate Representative Oaks and extend our very best wishes for continued success in all of her future endeavors. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Saginaw to be affixed this 16th day of March in the year of our Lord, 2015. Signed, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor. Amos O'Neill's Mayor Pro Tem. Michael D. Balls, Annie Bench, Larry Calora, Stan Fitzpatrick, Floyd Clock, Brenda F. Moore, and Damon L. Tibbs. City Manager Tim Morales. Congratulations.
After the senator said he just can't wait. First and foremost, thank you so much for this proclamation. I will say that we have to make one correction. I believe you stated that I was the first woman ever elected, and all of those great women who came before me during this month of Women's History Month I would be remiss if I did not point that out. I am the first woman to ever be elected to the 95th District, and I'm very proud of that. I'm also proud of my heritage. I was born and raised right here in Saginaw. I grew up at 9th and Tuscola. So as these young people sit here today, I tell you that I never thought that I would run for office, but I did. I'm proud of where I came from. I'm proud of the fact that my mother participated as a part of the Great Migration, and I'm proud to be a product of that Great Migration. Thank you so much. Yours in service, Stacey Irwin Oaks.
Mayor, our third and final proclamation this afternoon is to the American GI Forum. declaring March 31st, 2015 as Cesar Chavez Day. And today we have with us Frank Anelius and Robert Stricker.
The American GI Forum, we have Mr. Frank Ornalis, is that correct? We have Robert Stricker here also? Okay, and is there any others with you? Just you two for today? Come on up, you can sit alongside of them. Come on up and stand alongside of them. Mr. Ornalis, thank you for representing the American GI Forum. I do have a proclamation reference Cesar Chavez, and let me read it as follows. Whereas the most important Latino leader in U.S. history, Cesar Chavez, was born March 31st, 1927 in Yuma, Arizona, to Labredo and Juanita, I think it is, Chavez. Excuse me if I get that wrong. Whereas young Cesar and his family packed up and headed for California following the seasonal work after losing both their farms and store in 1937 as depression intensified and the years of drought forced thousands off the land. And whereas Cesar attended 38 different schools before dropping out to help support his family, ending his formal education after the 7th grade. He absorbed much of the courageous example from his parents as they instilled in him a profound respect for the value of each human person and a desire to protect that value. And whereas the values that Cesar Chavez strove to live out in all his endeavors include the services to others, sacrifices, a preference to help the most needy, determination, nonviolence, respect for life, celebrating community, acknowledging and innovation. And whereas Cesar Chavez spent 31 years forging a legacy of service, conviction, and principled leadership that served as a beacon for all Americans. And whereas the strength of this vision and the power of his leadership enabled him to take this struggle directly to the American people, he focused on our nation's attention on the economic and social plight of immigrant farm workers and, in the process, taught us how injustice anywhere affects us everywhere. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor of the City of Saginaw, on behalf of my fellow council members, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, March 31st, 2015, as Cesar Chavez Day in the City of Saginaw, and call upon the citizens of this community to reflect on and honor the life of this distinguished leader, veteran, and American. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Saginaw to be affixed this 16th day of March in the year of our Lord 2000. Signed, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor. Councilpersons Amos O'Neill, Mayor Pro Tem, Michael D. Balls, Annie Bench, Larry Calora, Stan Fitzpatrick, Floyd Clock, Brenda F. Moore, and Damon L. Tibbs. Timothy Morales, our city manager. Congratulations, and you would come up and receive this.
I'd just like to thank the entire council again for presenting us with this proclamation for a great Latino leader in this country. The American GI Forum, by act of Congress in the early 50s, declared the American GI Forum a nonprofit organization. And it was founded in 1946. In 52, the first American GI Forum was organized here in Saginaw. In the last 15 years that we've been granting scholarships to young students going into college we have awarded over $40,000 in that area. So again, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, your next order of business is public hearings.
And let me remind the audience, the purpose of a public hearing is for the public to address council as a whole and for council to receive comments for consideration at the time of action may be taken. Public comment shall not be addressed to individual council members, city staff, or the audience. The speaker must limit their remarks to the subject of the hearing. Begin by stating your name. The applicant or main presenter would be allowed 15 minutes. Other speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers may ask general questions, but shall not ask questions of the specific council members. Madam Clerk.
The Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund to create a city park.
Is there anyone to speak on this public hearing? Yes.
Is the applicant. I'm going to initially speak, and there are a few other people that will. But for the benefit of the public and the council, first I just wanted to say that the Nature Conservancy, which is a private conservation group, and the federal, state, and local representatives were in the beginning process of planning this project. So no commitments are being made with the passage of this. We're only asking council to authorize the submission of a grant application at this time. Everyone involved in the project is obviously excited about the opportunity to create an additional park. However, we have to be cautious. The park is planned to create green space, trails, and passive recreational opportunities where they currently don't exist. But as I said, we're in the beginning phase of planning, so we have a lot of issues to review, including issues related to engineering. Our engineering department is just starting to look at that property, ownership of the property, oversight, maintenance of the park, etc. Those are all things that we're going to be looking at in the next several months. If council authorizes the city to submit the grant application, we'll continue to work on the application and the plans for the park. And finally, if the grant application is submitted, then all stakeholders will carefully review many aspects of the project, from development to long-term management, prior to the award date. We're anticipating that the award date for this grant would be in December, so we have several months to do planning and research. And if awarded, the city and all stakeholders will have the rights and responsibilities of the project's ownership, maintenance, management clearly stated prior to accepting any grant award. And behind me you see this is a project that, as I said, is in the early stages, so it's continually changing over the past few weeks. But this is, at this point, you're looking at what the latest drawing that we have, which I believe the Nature Conservancy is working with a firm. So the vision would be to have, as I stated, very passive parkland with the yellow line representing trails. So that's the main issue that we're looking at today, is simply the grant application.
State your name first.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. My name is Rich Tazinski. I'm with the Nature Conservancy here in Michigan. The Nature Conservancy is a leading conservation organization with national and global reach. Our mission is to protect the lands and waters that all life depends upon. We do that through offices in all 50 states, in excess of 30 countries, and in excess of 3,500 employees. In Michigan here, we have done projects from the tip of the Keweenaw to the very border of Michigan and Ohio. Locally, our engagement began in the city of Saginaw in 2012 when we worked with U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Dow Chemical Corporation to acquire the former Germania Town and Country Club and worked to get that transferred into the Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge. Shortly after that acquisition in 2012, we were contacted by members of the Racer Trust, who currently own the 320 acres approximately of the former General Motors Saginaw Malleable site. They contacted us and wanted to talk about an opportunity to see if we could find the conservation recreation outcome for the property. Our engagement with this, as we looked at the map and how it fit into a mosaic of where the Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge is on the south side of the river, as well as the additional Germania land, and beginning to have conversation with stakeholders, including the city of Saginaw, Saginaw Future, the county of Saginaw, Saginaw Basin Land Conservancy, became very clear to us that there was a movement afoot to develop a trail network. And when we looked at the ecological merits of the property, you have a grassland habitat, you have an extensive wetland complex, and you have almost a mile of river frontage along the Saginaw River. So it became pretty clear that this could be a very important urban conservation recreation open space project serving to provide public access to the neighborhood community. So ultimately, we have a vision that builds out a passive recreational use with a trail network, some fishing platforms, and ultimately providing open space and access to the public. Thank you.
Question? Councilman Ball.
You guys gonna recreate that where the foundry used to be at and the old steering gear gun plant too? You working way all the way around to the Saginaw River?
Yeah, so the property outlined in red there represents the entire property owned by Racer Trust, roughly 320 acres, and includes the slab or the site where the factory was. Is that what your
Yes.
question? Yes. I should say Racer Trust has responsibility and obligation under their trust agreement to make certain that the property is, they have environmental responsibility on the property in perpetuity. And they will have, there is work yet to do on the remediation and cleanup on the site, which they will undertake.
So the pink part, is that the park on the?
That's the Wicks Park on the
okay.
on the other side of the river,
So
correct.
you plan on doing something with that too?
That is not part of this project or application. I'll defer to Tom regarding the connection of a trail system.
Yeah, Councilman Balls, that's a good point. This kind of plays into the overall strategy to connect the neighborhoods to the trail system. The grant that we submitted a couple of months ago to the Fish and Wildlife Service was to explore how do we make connections on Wicks Park Drive to the rest of the trail system, because you really have an interesting situation where you have wetlands and federal lands on both sides of the river. So our goal is to connect on the east side all the way down Wicks Park Drive, because it feeds right into Ojibwe Island and comes all the way to Potoff Park, to connect that to the Shiawassee to the south, and then the opposite side to connect the Racer Trust with the Center Street Bridge. Currently, our plan would still have so the current rail trail ends at about the Center Street Bridge, West Michigan and Center. Actually, the township brought a little farther. Our goal is to take that point at West Michigan and Center and bring it all the way down to the city. Now, you could either do that on the river with some easement acquisition, or you could just simply put a bike lane on West Michigan. But currently, the easiest way to do that and to bring folks back into the trail system in the city of Saginaw would be to go over the Center Street Bridge and put everybody to go along Wicks Park Drive to go to the north. So we've got plans on both sides.
Okay, yeah. I always been wondering what they're gonna do with that park, or if we could do something with it, because it's a beautiful park, a lot of
is.
area. Used to have a lot of baseball games, basketball and stuff like that, and I think it'd be a nice picnic area or something like that. They had a boat launch they used to use over there, and it's just going in disarray, so.
Yep.
It's good to see something been done.
That's we submitted I think it was a $1 million grant total to see if we could do all the pre-engineering, the engineering, property acquisition, and then ultimately our plan is to light it, to possibly have some security cameras, and then all the amenities on both sides.
I mean, I know it's gonna take a lot of money to, on the west side there where the plant was, you got environmental concerns and stuff like that, or it's gonna cost a lot of money to get that taken care of. You know, we got the other part on the east side that's been a park forever, but it's just been in disarray because no maintenance been done to it, so.
Yep.
I was hoping we incorporate it all in the grand scheme of things, to make it all look good.
I agree. I mean, the Wicks Park Drive is essentially already a trail. We've been working with Mr. Carwatt in the engineering department as to the most economical way to fix that road up, but essentially to create that into a park system as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you. I too would echo the same sentiments with the Wicks Park area. Obviously, we know that's a nice area, and to not leave that out of the equation in our planning. So I would be interested in future days or months, or I'm not sure how long it's going to take to come back with some information on potential opportunities or activities for that Wicks Park area as well.
And I should point out, I don't want to take too long here, but I think the whole reason why we're here today with this particular piece of property is because Racer really came to us and said, you know, what is the highest and best use of this property for the city of Saginaw and its residents? We looked at it in the master plan, and we looked at it again once Racer was ready to market it, and virtually the whole property's in a floodplain. Because our first thought, my first thought is jobs and investment. I mean, that's primarily, you know, what Saginaw Future looks for. So we thought, would this be a good spot for industrial development? We said, well, nobody wants to build in a 100-year floodplain. You don't want to put that much investment in a 100-year floodplain. And its proximity to neighborhoods really doesn't make it conducive. Now, the nodular site on the north end of town, on the east side, that is a little bit more appropriate because of all the industrial use around it. So in order to move that piece forward, and at Racer's request, we started to sort of formulate this group to talk about what is possible. But I agree with you. I think, you know, this is a long-term project and is certainly more complicated. The Wicks Park Drive is a no-brainer. I mean, it's a beautiful, I ride my bike over the Court Street Bridge and you go right down Wicks Park Drive all the way to the confluence of the river. So that one is probably less expensive and easier to do than this one. But I think both are add amenities to the city.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your time.
Any other questions? Councilman Coloris?
Tom, is that the Center Street Bridge at the upper part of that river?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question, Council, at this point? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is there any anyone else to speak on the project we're working on now, second and third time? Any other ones to speak? Third and last time, anyone else to speak? If not, I'm going to entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, your next item of business is personal appearances.
Okay, and before we start personal appearances, the speaker is limited to 3 minutes. The purpose of a personal appearance is to address council. Speakers shall address their remarks to the council as a whole. Remarks shall not be addressed to individual council members, city staff, or the audience. Speakers may ask general questions about the topic of their presentation. Questions will be referred to the city staff for appropriate follow-up. Speakers shall not ask questions of specific council members. Madam Clerk, our first one.
Thank you, Mayor. Our first speaker this afternoon is Mary Jacobs.
Mary Jacobs here.
Last time, Mary Jacobs. Next we have Gregory Charter.
Yes, it's actually Carter. Mayor Browning, Mayor Pro Tem O'Neill, esteemed council, city staff. My name is Greg Carter, and I'm a member of the Buena Vista Charter Township Board of Trustees. Most of you I know by face. Those of you that I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, it's finally good to put a name with the face. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. January 25th, 2011, my life and the life of my family was changed forever. On that date, we lost my father to the 6 leading cause of death in this country, which is Alzheimer's. I know I only have 3 minutes, and I was informed that Ms. Santos is very strict, so I'll be as brief as I possibly can, and I won't try to jam a lot of statistics into my 3 minutes, but I will say, since I've been at this podium, someone else in our great country has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It is happening that rapidly. I'm here today, Council, to ask you to support Buena Vista Township's second annual Miles for Memory 5K Fun Run and Walk. As I stated, after the death of my father, and a grieving period for myself and my family, this is something that we really wanted to do. And with the blessing of my board, township administration, we were able to put this thing together. This year's race is May 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning. All activities take place at our community center. What I have for you today here, for all of you, is a flyer and a registration form. And I would ask you to support us in our endeavor, extending the olive branch or the goodwill of municipal government from one to the other. I will say that I have spoken with our state rep, Vanessa Guerrero, as well as our new state senator, Ken Horn, and they have both signed on as memory ambassadors for this year's run and walk. So with that being said, I would like to leave this information. Would it come to you? Take me 20 minutes to get over there. Now this is for the council, and I also have extras that 3 minutes does go fast when you're on side of the podium, right? City manager, I also have other that we can spare out, hopefully, through the city employees.
Afternoon. John Millen, 508 West Remington. I'm here today, council members, mayor, and staff, to speak on a request I know you've received through your membership in the Michigan Municipal League. They are asking local governments, cities, towns, villages, for resolutions of support of Proposal 1 on the May ballot here in Michigan. I'm here today. You don't have anything on your agenda today. I don't know if you will in the future. If a resolution is asked for through city staff, I would like to be informed of that. I would like to present the opposite side of proposal to not support Proposal 1. The reason for this is the proposal and the bills that it would enact as drafted right now do not accomplish what we have been hearing in public, the increased funding for roads. Due to drafting errors, which I think were probably due to the haste with which this entire package was put together, not only would there not be $400 million in the first year for additional road funding, you would face a reduction of over $500 million in funding for roads. This is just one of the errors in drafting in this package of laws. So without additional legislation being passed, which would have to be passed by a totally different legislature than the one that passed the package under consideration, it would take at least into the second year for funding to be equal to what you have right now, and the third year for any increase to show up. The Michigan Municipal League in particular is aware of this problem. This problem was stated in analysis of this package of bills by both the House Fiscal Agency and the Senate Fiscal Agency, and no one has made that public. You have to go to the state government website to find this information out. The Michigan Municipal League, however, received a letter specifically from the governor and the state stating this problem and assuring them that it would be corrected by this additional legislation. Were that legislation to be proposed, the entire package of bills that is attached would then be open for amendment. So any representation as to how much money might come, how it would be divided between different entities such as mass transit, roads, school funding, could all be open to new legislation. So at this time, with no resolution before you, I simply ask, if such a resolution is presented to you as council, consider it carefully, and I would be happy to return and be the presenter for a resolution in opposition to this. Thank you for your time.
Mayor, your next item of business is the remarks of council.
Okay, and council members, let me remind you that you have 5 minutes for your remarks. And tonight, we start with Councilman Floyd Clark. What do we do?
Well, I really just wanted to first say thanks to our representatives, Representative Stacey Irwin Oaks, and our Senator Roger Kahn. Unfortunately, they've already left. But I did want to express my gratitude for all they had done in their work in the state legislature. In addition, I did want to mention that the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra had its concert on Friday, very well attended. Many of you know I support that, and the mayor does as well. It's one of the premier culture events and activities in the city. I always encourage our residents to be involved and participate and attend. One of the interesting things that people need to know is next season will be a interview season for guest conductors. We had 197 applicants for the conductor position. Our orchestra is known nationwide, in fact worldwide. We've got applications from New Zealand to London, from South America, all over the world. The orchestra is known worldwide as a very, very good orchestra, and that's why we're getting these applications. So next season, next year, we'll have 4 interview concerts. Well, actually, the fifth one will be in May 1st. Our concert on May 1st will also be a interview concert. So if anyone's interested in hearing prospective conductors, we will be asking the audience to give us input. There'll be a survey on every single one of them, so if you can, attend all 5 and give us some input. It's going to be exciting. And I do want to also say thank you to the students who are here today. It says a lot for your willingness to be involved, particularly in local government, which I don't remember the famous person who made the comment, but all politics is local, and it is true. It starts here. So thank you for being here, all of you. Learn all you can. Maybe someday you'll be sitting up here or in a similar seat in a local municipality. You may move on to other politics. But whatever you do, be involved. Civics is a huge part of our responsibility as citizens of this country and as citizens of this state. So thank you for your interest, and I hope you can learn all you can today. Thank you. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, citizens of Saginaw, and especially the young people that's here today that's interested in government. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not attending the government day you guys had on the Hill. I was standing at the doorway, and I was reminded by the biggest guy in your group that I did not attend that meeting. So I want to let you know that I was on another Hill. I was at the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and I could not attend that meeting. And by the way, I got a job, so I have to, sometimes it's kind of hard to get to the meetings in the morning and stuff like that to attend those with you guys. So I just want to let you know why I wasn't there. Considering your size and stuff like that, I think I should tell you that. The representatives that came here, we love to have our representatives at the state level to come here and talk to us. And especially it's really good for them to be here when the students in here to encourage you guys, let y'all know that y'all can run for the same type of offices too. I just ran a year and a half ago for city council and had no intentions on doing it. Always been a servant. I've been in the Big Brothers program for 20-something years, and I'm always caring about my community. And what better way to do that is to get involved in this process with the city government and make sure that all the resources are split up equally all over the city of Saginaw so we all can prosper. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see y'all here and wanting to get involved. Especially good to see little Miss Rudy there. I used to tease her. She's the Arthur Hill student, and her dad went to Saginaw High. And I always tease her why she didn't go to Saginaw High, but you know, it's good to see you here anyway. You know, and the GI Forum guys are here. It's always good to see the brothers here, especially considering the fact that they want to recognize Cedar Chavez Day, you know, one of my heroes. You know, this guy came here from Mexico and tried to organize the farm workers, and that's a beautiful thing, because when people don't have representatives, sometimes people have normally misuse people who's not representative, don't have a representative. So just like the city council is here to represent the city, we need to be here to make sure that everybody here is represented positively, in a positive manner. You know, I was thinking about the state reps and the reputation that they have for being distinguished people who want to help out the community. And then I think about the negative representatives that we have in the city of Saginaw, the ones who are doing crime and doing things that are not positive for our community. And it's always good to see students that's growing up so that you guys can be some positive examples for the city of Saginaw. It's really good to see y'all. So, Mr. Mayor, those are all my comments, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. Councilwoman
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank the students for being here. I too apologize because we had line of communication. I did look so forward to the snow day that I was supposed to be at Arthur Hill, but the wires got crossed. I need to get on your email so that I'm up to date on when it is. I'd like to thank all of the public speakers who spoke. Mr. Carter has left. I'm not a runner or a walker, but I'm going to try to run and walk. I know what he means when he talks about the Alzheimer's. My mom had Alzheimer's, so I'm all in on that right now. And for the young man who spoke on Proposal 1, Mr. John, I'm learning it. I'm trying to understand it myself, so maybe we can get together and we can talk about that some more. It is just good to be here today. I'm excited for the students, and I'm excited that you have taken an interest in learning about political government, because you are our future, and we truly do need our young people to step up so that they can become educated and aware of what's going on. A lot's been going on in the city right now, and I'm sure we're going to keep doing the things that we're doing, but that is all of my comments for right now. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. First of all, I also want to thank these young people that took the time out to find out what life's really all about. One thing I know for sure, I'll never see your names or your faces in a police bar. Your pictures won't be prominently displayed down at the local post office, because you have the desire for knowledge and you have the desire for education, and I applaud you for it. And I wish you all the best of luck in your journey. You'll be okay. Thought entered my mind last Saturday night when I left the Civic Arena. Were people complaining about nothing to do. We had 5,500 people in the arena. The Temple Theater had probably a couple of thousand. The Assembly Hall was full with an event that I didn't look in, but I assume they had at least 500 or 600. The theater had an event going. The nice thing about it is traffic control was out on the street at the end, making sure that the traffic moved in a nice, orderly fashion. To me, that's progress. When you have naysayers that say I'd never go downtown, I'd never cross the river. Narrow-mindedness, but However, that's what we have to put up with. But there are things happening in the city. It's up to you to participate. There's never a shortage of things to do. Other than that, I have nothing else. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon to everyone, all the students here today. It's good to see your faces. I'd like to thank you for serving. I just want to leave you with a little information about leadership. Leadership is about serving, volunteering in the neighborhood, volunteering at some community centers, helping a neighbor rake some leaves, cut some grass. Leadership is about being a good student, you know, with your attitude and your behavior. You know, leadership starts in those environments. Doesn't start up here. I would mention that most of us did not seek out these elected offices. Most of these offices came as a result of us giving back to the community, being leaders in our neighborhoods, being leaders in community centers, being leaders doing volunteering for our community. So I want to encourage you, stay involved, get involved, be the example wherever you are. Be the example wherever you are. That's where leadership starts. And it'll just be a natural transition or natural progression if you consider it for elected office. It'll be because of the contributions you've made prior to the point of the question of being involved in elected office. Okay? Make good choices. Choose friends wisely. Choose your friends wisely. We all know how association brings about assimilation. Okay? So hang around folks who are going somewhere. Okay? Young ladies as well. Choose a friend or a mate that can add value to you, as well as the young men. Choose a friend or a mate that can add value to you. That way you'll keep going in a positive direction. You won't have one person who may not have the interest to move forward. You know, if you're interested in moving forward and the other person's not, then that person's going to be a heavy weight on you. They're going to pull you back. They're going to be critical. They're going to be judgmental, all because you're moving and they're not. Okay? So just some little life tips and lessons from a guy who's raised 3 daughters who are all Saginaw Public School students, graduated, and all went to college. So I'm giving you some fatherly advice as young people, seeing that and just looking around the country, looking around the city. You can see, you guys look at the news and you read the paper, right? Yes. So you can see and you've seen what's going on. So we want you guys to be the example, okay, that you are. Keep leading by being an example. Make those good choices and good decisions. Thank you for being here. And if there's anything that I can do, I do have some cards I'll leave with you. Unfortunately, I was not able to be at your meeting due to work commitments, but I will make myself available to you for conversation or support or endeavors you may have. Okay? So with that, Mr. Mayor, that concludes my comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Annie Beck.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of the students in the audience here today. It's very nice to see you all out there. It's probably one of my favorite meetings throughout the year. I also want to thank the staff who participated in the day, and I know it takes a lot of effort for them to pull off a successful student government day, so thank you to staff for doing that. To Mr. Carter, I'd like to thank him for coming to us and extending the invitation for the Miles for Memory run/walk. I am a walker and I would like to try to participate, and I certainly empathize with the loss of his father and Councilwoman Moore's mother. I helped care for my grandmother for probably 10 years before she passed away from Alzheimer's as well, and so it's something that affects a lot of individuals directly and indirectly as caregivers, so it's definitely a worthy and worthwhile cause to try to get involved in. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Carwatt. A while back, he made the offer to us council members to take a snow plow ride along, and I know nobody wants to think about snow or plow trucks right now because it's 50 today and hopefully going to stay that way. But I really hope that he extends that offer again next year for any other council members who weren't able to attend. And I would really encourage you guys to do it if you have the time. I'd like also to thank Jamie in particular. He was the driver. He was great, taught me a lot, answered all my questions. I learned a lot that I didn't expect to learn. I guess I wasn't really sure what to anticipate, but it was a lot of fun. Their job is a lot more difficult than you would think. It's not just driving around, having fun, listening to the radio all day while they move snow into your driveway. The trucks are a lot more complicated and harder to maneuver than you'd realize, and I was really taken a bit aback by some of the mistreatment our drivers are on the receiving end when it comes to the public. And that was, we always empathize, I think, with the people who do the day-to-day work. I mean, we're just here for the meetings, and you guys do the difficult stuff and deal with the public a lot more when it comes to those things. And I just have a tremendous amount of empathy and understanding now for that job, and I'm just very grateful that you offered us that opportunity. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Kidd.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Representative Oaks and Senator Khan and the GI Forum for being present, and thank you for your contribution to make Saginaw a better place. The speakers, Mr. Carter and Mr. Milne, thank you for making us aware of important issues that affect our day-to-day living. And I'd also like to thank the students for being here. It's encouraging. Obviously, our future is in good hands. I guess I'd like to, unfortunately, I was associated with a letter that was made public on Friday. The first time I heard of this letter, which I normally, it's not common, or it is common for me to do, is to sit next to Miss Ruth Ann Knapp, who's a school board representative. And she kind of whispered to me about this letter, and I had no clue. I mean, absolutely no clue. I did not participate in drafting this letter. I did not sign this letter. I did not authorize this letter. I'm not associated with that letter. My connection to that letter, I have 3 kids that are of school age. 2 of them, just for the first year, attend the same school. So for several years, I've been going to 3 different locations trying to get my kids to school. And the part of the conversation was about the decision or lack of decision or the possible decision. 2 of my kids attend Hanley School, and they're kindergarten and second graders. And they're just, I'd rather not see them move. I mean, especially to some of the places that were suggested. I mean, that's my right as a parent with 3 kids who live and work in the city. And that was what I was associated with. And I was involved in any type of parental intervention that would involve strictly to Hanley being moved, so I could be part of the conversation as a parent. But in no way, what in old-fashioned was my definition of parental involvement would be sending a letter to the governor asking for state intervention. And in no way would I publicly disparage a public official. It's highly inappropriate. Also, on a personal basis, I see several of them on a weekly basis. Again, Ms. Ruth Knapp, I see her at least weekly, and I often sit next to her in some of these public events that I attend. Mr. Patterson, I see him often at the grocery store, and we chat briefly. Alexis Thomas, I see her often at First Ward. Ms. Thompson, I see her often at public different events. Her grandson actually shadowed me for a day at my job because he was interested in being an attorney. So I have no personal vendetta or personal reason to disparage these individuals. They're good people doing their job that they were elected to do. And on another level, I don't think state intervention is appropriate. I mean, I think the city and the current board has the talent to resolve this issue. We solve this problem by working together, not tearing each other down, and also to serve as a good example for these young individuals. And publicly attacking people in public is not a good example of good government. And in no way would I condone or support that. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm the last of the comments, so we know we're looking very good. At this time, I want all Arthur Hill High School students to stand up. Quickly, let's give them a hand. Thank you. Thank you very much. SASA students, give them a hand. Michigan Lutheran Seminary, give them a hand. And Valley Lutheran High School, my students in there. There we go. Thank you very much. If this is any indication of the future that's coming to us, we're going to be in very good hands. We got some very bright people, young people here. I'm very proud of you, the way you carried yourself today, and we're very, very proud of them. They were outstanding group. So thank you very much for that. I did attend Brenda, you missed this. Arthur Hill's officials on the Hill, along with Councilman Tibbs, we were both able to be there. What a great program. And I'm going to read that pledge. You probably know it by heart by now. This is the pledge, Think Respect pledge that they incorporate in there, and I'll take it just a second. I pledge to respect myself and all other individuals. Everyone will be treated the way I would like to be treated. I will be true to myself and always carry myself in a positive manner. I will be a role model for my peers and hold myself to a high standard. I will be mature. I will cooperate with others and always follow directions. I will respect and better my environment wherever I go. I will have an open mind, and I will not judge others based on their differences. I will invite others to embrace this message. Great pledge for the students, Arthur Hill, and we had also Saginaw High students there that day too. So Arthur Hill and Saginaw High, congratulations to you. Outstanding job with that. Boy, what a concert. I attended there a Friday night, farewell concert for our conductor, and boy, what a class. Yeah, what a class act. I am just, you sit in that theater, which is, I believe, a world-class theater, with a world-class orchestra, and it's just amazing. And that's in our backyard, and it's just amazing for that. So, Councilwoman Annie Bench, you rode in the snowplow, so good for you. I'm thinking about starting a merit badge program for council members. And you will get these merit badges when you ride in the snowplow or a police or fire ride along or the water treatment plant. We should have got the merit badge today for those. We get some merit badges so that we have a little feeling for that. But also the involvement in our community, very, very important. We have, and Brenda, you have that with you. You have the Yvonne Riggins. We have a memorial coming up, and that'll be what, Friday, I believe that is. Our great citizen Yvonne Riggins Thomas. There is a dedication ceremony for being held on March 27th from 11:30 to 1 at the neighborhood house, and we will present a letter of recognition to that family for Yvonne's service at the neighborhood house down in South Saginaw. So with that, Madam Clerk, I'll send it back to you.
Mayor, your next order of business is the consent agenda.
Reports from manager.
I'm
How about-
sorry,
how about-
reports from manager.
Okay.
And that's trying to speed it up. Here. Just a few things for council. The couple reminders, Neighborhood Association Action Group meeting that's hosted by Mr. Stemple is tomorrow at noon here in council chambers. And our next citywide meeting is Thursday the 26th, and that's this month hosted, as always, by Chief Ruth, but the Neighborhood Association hosting it is First Ward Community Center. And I also wanted to let council know we're going to be having some Light Up the City events coming up in the spring, and I believe we have a date, but representatives from consumers will be at council. I think it's in April. So that'll be coming up as well, and the police department and consumers are working on that. I also wanted to just add a little bit of information to number 3 on the council agenda, which is the MML placemaking initiative. We've been working with the MML on the memorandum of understanding for that project, and also the city's portion of the project is $8,000. We estimate the total project cost to be about $40,000, so it's about a $32,000 grant portion. The MML always asks the cities that are participating to put a little bit into the project to show the commitment and, from our staff. That money is coming from savings and fiscal services, so it's not adding to the budget at all. I also just briefly wanted to mention the local collaboration. We've been working with the state of Michigan and MEDC for a number of years on development, but I think in the last year and a half, we've had a lot of commitment from Saginaw County in the city. So I want to let council know the county controller, Robert Bellman, county chair Mike Hanley, and the land bank and others at the county, including the parks department now with the passage of the millage, are all very interested in the city and interested in doing things, and they've contacted the manager's office several times for different projects, including this, the one for the park on the old Racer Trust old GM site, but they're also interested in working with us on our other parks and working on development. So I wanted to let council know that I think I see a very good commitment from the county on working in the city now, which I don't think has always been the case in the past. And finally, I wanted to briefly talk a little bit about the closure of Wicks Park Drive, and that is at this point simply because of the weather. It's a weather-related closure, as you mentioned, members of council, that the road isn't in good condition there, and this is a time of year where the potential for that road to deteriorate further is there based on weight. You probably even see that the state has different spring weight limitations on the freeway, so it's the grade of road there is not even close to what the freeways are. So you can imagine the impact that has. And that leads to a further, something that I think we need to bring up, and we have talked about in the past, but a few council members brought it up as well, but we need to look at the future of that park and the future of that drive, and I think that one thing to look at is integrating that into the trail system, as Tom Miller mentioned. And do we need to keep that as a fully functioning road? Can we reduce the road portion to access to the river and access to the naval site there and turn the rest of it into a park, which would be much more cost effective for the city and would reduce some of the traffic back there? So that's what we have been thinking about long term for the park. We have been talking about that actually probably for over a year. So it's at this time it's probably something that Phil's staff will want to look at further. That's one of the parks that I talked about with the county. They had met with me, wanted to talk about parks, what they could do in the city, and that's one of them that I specifically mentioned because I know we don't have the funds available to do a lot with parks. So if the grant that Tom Miller applied for can help out with that, if the county can do some things there in our engineering and some of our general fund, I think we can get something done with that area. But it might be a big change, like changing the road, transferring the road to a trail so people can run and we can have the 5Ks and a bike trail, but definitely is something that we can do with that park. So wanted to let you know that is on our minds and something that we look at. And that concludes the management update.
Being none, Madam Clerk?
Mayor, you are now at the consent agenda.
The agenda's been available at City Hall on the citywide city website and SGTV channel 191. I need a motion to adopt the Consent agenda, leaving room for exceptions. It's been moved in as far as, is there any objects or any exceptions?
Point of order.
Point of order.
Would it be appropriate to inform the students what the consent agenda is and why we do it?
They went through it this
They
afternoon.
did? All right.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
I've already approved it. All the students went through the mock one, and it's the same agenda, so we did talk about that. Any, any exceptions? Item 13. 13. Any other exceptions? Any other exceptions? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Madam Clerk, number 13.
Thank you, Mayor. To approve the request from WKCQ for in-kind service in lieu of payment for 1/2 of the special event fees for the Country Music Fest free concert scheduled for June 20th, 2015 on Ojibwe Island. That was Councilman Balls.
Councilman Balls?
My only concern is, I think we get, I don't know, what, about 20,000 people come here to that thing? I don't know. How many come?
Country music?
80 and 100 is what they say. Between 80 and 100,000
Yes.
is what they advertise as attending that event.
Well, considering the fact that we have another event that comes up and we need some money July the 4th, I would hope that maybe we can get some canisters out there or sell some water or something so we can raise some money for the fireworks. There's way too many people coming in our city, and I mean, I appreciate them coming, don't get me wrong, but I think they would support our 4th of July efforts if we asked them to support it. So I was wondering maybe we get some city staff or some volunteers or some of these other organizations, maybe every neighborhood association can come out there and just ask for donations for that.
Yeah, I believe the fireworks committee kind of already works with McDonald Broadcasting and Dwayne Alverson, because I know they do a lot with some parking and that in certain areas where they set up some parking and they know they donate a certain amount of funds that go towards the fireworks. So I believe that the fireworks committee already works with them because of the amount of people they bring into town for that purpose. So if there was something else, I could make a couple phone calls and see if there's anything else they could work together on fundraising for that.
Any other comments on that?
No, sir.
I guess I am on the fireworks committee, and I do believe they will be working with that. They've been developing some ideas for enhanced visibility and fundraising, and I think we'll be hopefully presenting some of that at the KCQ thing.
Okay. Councilman Balls, you have a motion to?
Yes, sir. I would like to adopt that resolution. I'd like to get some support to do that, too.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, your next order of business is reports from boards, commissions, and committees, and appointment of board and commission members.
Are there any reports from any boards or commissions? Council members, any reports today? Any reports? Councilman Tibbs? Yes, Your Honor, I understand where you're coming from, yep. You're okay, go ahead.
The crime-free lease addendum subcommittee met, I believe, last week, and the subcommittee voted to recommend that the city council adopt the proposal. It's a good chance that it will be part of your packet on April 6th. We're just working on finalization with the city clerks.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Any other reports? Go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Michigan, yeah, you report on that committee. Oh, absolutely, you're right.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I just want to mention to all of you colleagues, on I think it was February, I was elected to the National League of Cities, National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials as a regional director for Michigan. So I'll be contacting and working with a lot of state organizations in terms of participation and activities regarding NLC. So I just wanted to mention that. And that is an elected position. I'm not sure if the city was notified or not, but just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor. We are now at resolutions. The first resolution is supporting and committing to the long-term obligations and maintaining staffing levels for the SAFER grant.
Need a motion to approve? It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Councilman Ball.
What is the status of the people that's on there now, the staffing level, for the SAFER grant? In the sense,
Go ahead.
All the positions staffed except for there might be 2 vacancies, which we're currently have posted and tried to fill. We had 2 people to hire, but I believe one, neither hire was finalized due to reasons of testing or because the applicant's withdrawal. So we have 2 open positions. We're currently doing the same thing that this letter obliges us to do. Anytime we have a vacancy, we post it and go through our normal filling process, which is the requirement for the grant.
okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, your next resolution is certifying the 2015 single lot special assessment tax roll.
I need a motion to approve. Been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion on the 2015 single lot assessment tax roll? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
The third resolution is approving a microbrew license for Oracle Brewing Company LLC at 122 North Michigan Avenue.
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, the fourth resolution is adding the South Saginaw Homes Phase 1 and South Saginaw Homes Phase 2 to the Act 51 City Local Street System.
Council members need a motion to approve. Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
Mayor, the next resolution is authorizing ballot language for the August 4th, 2015 election for a millage renewal for the Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services.
Need a motion to approve? So moved. Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
And Mayor, our final resolution today is approving the application for the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grant to create the Riverfront Park, which will include an entrance gate, signage, loop trail, fishing platform, and master plan.
Need a motion? So moved. Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Not? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, you are now at motions and miscellaneous business.
Any council members have anything to come before the council? Councilman Balls.
Last meeting for the resolutions, we clumped them all together, seeing if anybody want to take one of them out. Can we do this the way we do the other, where we accept all the resolutions, and then if anybody wants to discuss one.
With room for exception?
Yes.
Madam Clerk?
Do we?
Our city attorney.
Yeah, I don't believe that unless they're part of the same type of issue, then I wouldn't do that. Usually you can divide questions. Usually the dividing questions is appropriate when there's unrelated. But if they're related, like all appointments to a single board, that type of thing would be okay. But resolutions, these are all very different, and I think they warrant discussion on their own. I can research that a little bit further, but that would be my response.
Council members, what is your?
Excuse me. It seemed like you allowed us to do it last month, if I'm not mistaken, last meeting.
Those were appointments.
Okay, that's for the appointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can take a look at it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay, I'll let that one go. Okay, anything else? Anything else?
Moving to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.